Welcome to this episode of Mrs. K's Korner. We finally cornered Assistant Superintendent Kelly Weldon, a former graduate and teacher and now administrator in OT.
So, as an alumni, I see my role as a liaison to former graduates to kind of point them back to our school and say, you know, this is your alma mater, and look what amazing things are happening here, and how can our larger community be a resource to our students? How can people who have graduated, come through our school system, graduate, now they're successful in whatever field that they are in, and I mean all fields, you know, whether it's a trade, a profession, whatever the case may be, what assets and what resources do they have that they may be willing to open their doors to one of our students for internships or possible observing, you know, students going out and seeing what a job is like before they decide on a major for college or a career path. And I'm trying to build that a little bit, and you've been very helpful with that and the whole Spartan's Live. Right. And I'm trying to create a Facebook presence, because I do believe that although I know our students are on Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram, the graduates, the former students who are now in their 40s and 50s, they really live, I believe, more so on Facebook. Snapchat is a foreign concept to them.
The older generation.
Yeah, it's a Facebook culture for that group, for that age group, and so I am trying to build a little bit of a presence there, which I never really had before. Because I was talking to students, and so I was trying to reach them through Instagram and Twitter. Now I'm trying to reach out to graduates and bring people back in. I mean, we just had David Kreisman, who was a graduate in the class of 1992, speak at the Spartan Scholar Ceremony. He's an Emmy award-winning scriptwriter. He's been a head writer on soap operas, the WWE. He has got a great past. Last year we had Shobha Sivaprasad, who's a class of 93 graduate. She's an immigration attorney in Washington. What a timely, last year we had her. It was just an unbelievable experience to listen to her talk, because it was right before the election, and that topic of immigration was so right in the forefront of everyone's mind. So I look for opportunities like that, where I may know a graduate who has this incredible life experience or career experience that they can then give back to our school. And that's really where I see Spartans Live, the social media presence, creating content about what's happening in our schools, and not newsletters, and newsletters are fine, but the visual of a space, of students, of athletes, of academic competitions, of classroom projects, that visual out there for people to come to and look at, really it invites them in so much more than a principal's newsletter would have, the type of thing I was writing 4 or 5 years ago. I knew that. I knew that we were doing something antiquated to reach our audience, and that had to change.
And our sports and our clubs, of course, are part of that, but academically, moving forward in this place, tremendous changes in terms of what your vision is. You want to just mention about where we're headed? I already have a little bit of knowledge where we're going, but maybe some of the people in the public aren't as aware right now where we're headed.
Right. Well, absolutely. And this is not a Kelly Weldon thing. I want to be very clear about that. Everything that we have done has been a team approach, whether it's the principals, Dr. Stefankowitz, students coming to the table, teachers coming to the table. These are our best people coming together to say, what do our students need? And then working backwards, what do they need when they leave us? And then working backwards to develop programs, starting here at the high school, but now I believe we have even trickled that down to the intermediate school, and we're looking at ways the intermediate school has already started to support our programs, and I think we're just at the touch of that, where that will really start to take off now, and that will trickle down to the elementary school. So it's a whole looking backwards. This is where we would like our students to be when they leave us, so what do we have to put in place to make that happen? And things like the School of Technology, which is now an actual school, but 5 years ago it was about Mr. Ippolito walking into a wood shop, talking to Mr. Collins, his colleague, and saying, okay, how do we take this wood shop that's been here for 30 years and turn it into a workspace that will give our students the skills they need to be competitive in engineering, in design, in any kind of career field they might want to go into that requires this type of thinking. How do we take a class like, what do we do with a Mr. Maffei, a math teacher, who really understands the hardware of machinery,
right.
and now he has a class where he almost, I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't teach a math section because his elective is so popular, and it's not because it's easy or it's a throwaway class, it's because it's so vital. That skill, being able to put, designing, gaming and design and PC hardware and putting things together, and that's a skill that students crave and will help them, will serve them very well in the future. The performing arts connection down in that A hall, across the hall from the technology, that collaboration between those teachers, what the television productions classes do with an acting class or a band class or a public speaking class, that collaboration is really what this is all about. So this is not me alone. These are the ideas of so many people, and the hard work of so many people coming together to build programs that are of high interest to our students,
right.
and will serve them well, will provide them with skills and maybe even certifications that will serve them well as they move on from Ocean Township High School. The Tomorrow's Teachers program, again, that was not me. That was brought to us. I think Dr. Stefankowitz brought it to our attention. Mrs. Source, the two teachers doing it, did much of the work to get that up and running. I could go on and on about so many different programs that we now offer here that we didn't offer in the past, that are driven by what the students wanted and what we as the educators felt they needed to be marketable and competitive when they left Ocean Township High School.
And we are
in
surely
whatever direction they
not
want to
the
go.
only school going. Schools
No,
are realizing
no,
this is
right,
the direction you have
right.
to take people. It's just not that traditional scene anymore.